Hey everybody, coming at you from out into the wilderness. Now instead of opening this scene with a bicycle, which I didn't want to do because last week's video was a bicycle, I didn't want people to see it and go, oh no, not another bicycle video. Well, this time, this will take a little explaining. For one thing, this is a different bicycle and trailer. And the funny thing is, this is the second bicycle and trailer that I built about 2 or 3 years ago. The other one was 5 years ago. And I made some improvements to this one, and believe it or not, it got moved around in the shop and crammed into the back room, and I actually forgot about it. But I remembered it after some of the comments on the last video saying, oh, you know, you could use that as a tabletop if you had to. Well, I got to, then that's when it struck me. I realized that this other bicycle frame trailer, I actually converted it to where it's a trailer, it's a hand cart, it's a camp table, and it's a frame for your shelter. So now this has never been tested. I never hooked it up to a bicycle, but I got that to show you. And then there's some things that's been piling up on my gear table that I thought I never knew where to put them on a video, and I'm going to show them and talk about them here real quick. It's a shovel, a knife, and 2 books. Because I never got around to showing them, and I don't think it'll take that long to show this stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, I haven't even tested it yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to head on out with it and try it, because I have not. Okay, so and then I'll show the other things when we get to camp and I get the table set up. We'll see how cool it is just to have a table set up. So this is the basic setup. Now I originally called this a travois because what a travois is it's 2 sticks drug behind a donkey with no wheels. Because it had little bitty tiny skateboard wheels. That way it would either drag or roll. But then I thought the ground clearance won't be enough, so that's when I added these solid wheels off a lawnmower. Now this may be something a little bit different in the future, but for now it's lawnmower wheels with Teflon bearings. And it's a frame, and it's got the bungee cord all over it. Now people that will remember, oh, and it mounts on a rod end right here, right underneath there. More about that later. And then of course there's my survival kit I always carry along. And there's about 80 or 90 pounds of gear on that thing. And people that will remember this from last time, there was a silver bicycle with this silver cart. Well, that bicycle was a 21 speed and it had very slick tires. This is a mountain series with more aggressive tires, and it's a 15 speed. So 15 speed should be good enough. Now I haven't painted this yet because this trailer isn't done. When it gets done, I'm going to paint the whole thing. The biggest difference between this one and the other one is not only does this really drive like a dream, but it pedals like a dream. Because the other was only a 10 speed. This is a 15 speed. So I now have a lower gear. I am going to re-gear the other one, but this one, I mean, it pedals. I don't even have to lift up. I can sit on the seat and pedal. But now, this is going to be the ultimate test. This little hill here, it's a very steep hill. I don't know if I can make it or not. But regardless, if I can't, everything's on wheels. When I come to a really bad hill, I'll just push it up the hill. So let's try this hill and see if I can make it up it. Oh no. I almost made it, but I felt way too much pressure on the chain. I'd hate to break the chain. So let's just grab it by the seat and roll it up. So far this thing is great. It is a dream. But due to its I don't know, it's lack, if everything's solid mounted, it's a lack of suspension, and due to the length and due to the wheels, I think this is going to be on trails only. It's not necessarily going to be quite as off-road as the other bike is. Now the other bike, I'm going to try to gear it to where there ain't a hill on earth it can't climb. Most bikes can't be done that way because you take them out on the sidewalks and the roads, but my bikes probably won't ever be on the sidewalk and won't never have much of a need for high speed. And that one bike, I've got 3, but that one will be for woods only. All right, so let's unhook this now, and as usual, let me bring you down here and I'll show you. Here on the front, I've got my survival kit that I can take off, or like I said, if I happen to leave, this is a sling bag. Okay, so I'll just sling it over my shoulder for if I leave the trail. Now on this thing here, I got to do some work on this. I don't really like the way this thing is, but you undo these 2 nuts here, just like this. I'm going to have to do some more to this because I don't like the way this thing's done. Alright, there's 2 T-nuts here, I'll show you in a minute. And then this thing just lifts up off like that. Alright, and you can either put the bar back in here and carry it, or you can carry it like this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let's put this down here. So adjust this down there where you can see the bar. See, this is a metal bar slipped through a rod joint, and it's drilled and tapped on each end, and then it's got these T-nuts right here. And so you can leave it with it. It's got plastic sleeves on each side for spacers. Now I may change this. I'm not real sure about this. Now one of the biggest deals with these bicycles here, I've had, let me move this thing up. Hope y'all enjoy spending time with Dave. Now one of the biggest deals with these bicycles, now I'm just emulating what I would do because this is a test. Now see, here's a sling bag. I pulled it off the front. Let's say I'm going to go exploring to see where I want to camp. So let's put the sling bag on, and even though I've left my bike, I have this. Now 2 of the biggest comments, I think this is like the 4th or the 5th bike video I've done. 2 of the biggest comments that I've ever gotten are, one of them is you need fenders. Everybody across the board, I got 800 or 900 comments, you need fenders. Well, the thing is, these don't come with fenders, period. And I don't know why, which is bad, because if it came with fenders, I'd modify them. So in the future, when these designs are completed, I'm going to have to come up with some way of some fenders. And with the fenders, I thought about, if they're going to be metal fenders, I thought about incorporating some kind of a way of making metal clips that would hold a machete sheath on one side and a hatchet on the other, or an axe or something. You know what I'm saying? And then the other comment that I get is, I get at least 1,000 comments, you need a patch kit. Well, yes, I'm well aware of that. I've got one in the duffel bag. But the inherent problem with that drives me insane is, you know, if you're going to be in a rough area, do you want to be stopping and patching constantly? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great you got a patch kit, but do you want to do it 20 times? And see, my thoughts is, anybody with it, I didn't research this, but has anybody got any kind of experience with filling these tires with foam or that green slime? Does that work? Or can you put some thin sheet copper or aluminum on the outside between the inner tube and the tire? And then another thing somebody else mentioned something about is taking a pull float. So that's a possibility. Could I take a pull float and cut it and just line the inside of the tire with foam? Would it work, or would it slide going uphill? I don't know. Y'all give me y'all's thoughts on it. So now the next part of this thing, I have rambled on long enough, is we're going to take it into the woods up here. All right. Move the bike to the side, and then grab this and use it as like a hand cart to push it up the hill. Alright, so I have rolled it into place. Let's unload it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of the bungee cords and I'm going to strap one into the tree so it's not laying on the ground. There, that should stay. Now I'm just going to start undoing all the bungee cords and taking everything off of it. So, I got a hodgepodge of bungee cords here. And as I take them off, I'll just lay them across the top. People that know me know that bungee cords are always handy at camp. Now like down there, as long as they're still attached on one side, I'll just throw them to the side. I think this one wrapped all the way around. Yeah, so we'll throw it up on top. And I got one down here. Now that's pretty neat. That's Savoda. I'll show you something about it in a minute. And then I've got this one that goes through these straps. Now this backpack was perfect, the Savoda, because it's got these rings right here. And that right there is where I strapped it around. Just like that. And then I went through the top strap, here, shoulder strap. So let's put that on. We got this out of the way. Alright, we got our compression sack sleep gear. Throw it on the ground. This is another part of the puzzle that I will show you. This, there you go, the duffel bag. Let's throw it down. Now as you can see, this is that, people that saw this before, this is the frame. It had a frame and I just put a duffel bag directly on it. But since then there's been a metal table put on here. Alright, so let's get some of these cords off and throw them on here. And then we're going to open this bag up and I'm going to show you what's inside this bag. Check this out, look. Let's put a couple of bungee cords in here. Go around here. Alright, got some bungee cords hanging up there. Let's take our kit, undo the Fastex buckle, and there you go. See, now I got my kit hanging up here. It's a camouflage kit, so it's not hanging on the ground now. I got it up off the ground where ants won't get into it. Cart, I just rolled it on over there. Now here's my bag. Let's undo this bag. What do we have here? Now, like I said, in the future, when I get everything finalized, I'm going to paint everything camo. I have 4 legs with little stoppers. And then I'm probably going to modify these later. These are held together by a sock, so that the ends don't poke a hole in my bag. You drop these in, just like that. Throw them on the ground, put these on, and then you flip this part over, like that. You got one end up, so what you do is you take these remaining pieces. Oh, I got my viewfinder slipped around. You take these remaining pieces and there's a wire stopper in there that you slide it stainless in. Now this stainless can also be used for blowing on a fire or even sucking water out of a creek if you have to. So you just lift this end up, slide this in and hold it, and then slide this in and hold it, and ta-da! You have a camp table. Ain't that cool? As far as I'm concerned, I think this is spectacular to have a table right here. Now, these little things hanging out the end right here, you could either hang your hat or you could hang a jacket, or, you know, even if you want to put your boots at night, you could hang your boots over here so that they're off the ground. And, you know, when you're here now, you got a place that you can set your backpack and you can get all your camp gear out and everything. And, you know, in this case, everything I wanted to talk about on the video. You just can't beat this. You cannot beat having this. All right, let's get rid of this backpack off this table. This is great. This is literally, I mean, you could have a camp kitchen here. This is like if you were some kind of an instructor, you could have a classroom outside. But anyway, real quick, like some of the things, this is a Lifeline shovel. Now I bought it the other day. I bought it from Smoky Mountain Knife Works for $15. Now this thing that is so cheap for a lightweight aluminum shovel. Now this thing right here, it's meant to keep in your vehicle or maybe on your snowmobile or four-wheeler for snow, because it is a flat aluminum shovel. Now you can either put it together short, let's see, you can put it together like that or that, long, or I think you can mash this button and push that in there like that. So it's like a 3-position. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I had a couple of ideas for this that are going to work in the future, because everybody says that these things are good for nothing but up north for snow. I figured this would be a good chance to get the table in shot. Now my idea behind this is super lightweight. Now I have a hole digging shovel on my other bicycle, and this one could easily fit on either bicycle because it's so lightweight and it'll even break down into a backpack. Now if you're careful, you can look online and you can find these things for $12. But if you ain't careful, you can find these for $40 or $50 for the exact same shovel. Now this is a genuine Lifeline, but they make a bunch of Chinese rip-offs. It's pretty much the same shovel, but a different name. It's got some Chinese name on it. But the thing is, this isn't really for digging, and a lot of people think it's just for snow, but I got to thinking, if you do bushcrafting like I do, a lot of times we will cover a cooking vessel with coals for baking. And every time I do that, I struggle with picking things up with wood and boards and sticks. Well, I thought, this would be great. Just build a big old fire, all right? And then take a shovel and scrape everything out of the way, and maybe scrape a few coals in the middle, and then set my stainless steel pot or pan right there, and then shovel up some coals and dump it on top. Nothing to it. And it ain't gonna hurt this, because I mean, if you took this and buried it in the fire and left it, yeah, it would eventually hurt it. But if you're just scraping around, lifting up coals and dumping them on, it ain't bad at all. And then the other thing that you could do with it is for clearing. I'm always clearing an area for a fire with sticks. This could be for clearing an area for a fire. So, like I said, if you happen to go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works in Tennessee, these are hanging on the rack over by the Moras, by the Mora and Martini section, and I think the Axe section. But they're just hanging on a rack, $15. I couldn't believe it. And but if you're careful, you can find them cheap online. I saw them one place for $12. But like I said, if you're not careful, be very careful. There's places charging $30 and $40 for these. All right. Now let's move on to the next little tidbit of information that I want to share. All right, I got my neck knife off. This is a Mora. Moras are made in Sweden. I love Moras, and I pretty much got every single Mora that's ever made. All right, I love them. Now, for a little while there, I was buying some Martini knives, and this is called the Martini Little Classic. I like it. It's stainless steel. Some people have complained about the durability, but it's made in Finland. There was somebody named Jan Martini that started Martini knives in 1928, so it's got a long history. And there's a lot of Scandinavian bushcrafters that love Martini knives. But just as a, this is the Little Classic, it's like $25. This is the size comparison of a Mora Bushcraft Black. See? Now for intricate carving, yeah, people baton with this and beat on it. And they like to take their bigger knives and their machetes and beat on them, baton them. But this is kind of for fine carving. And it's such a small knife that you can add a elastic bungee cord to it and make a great neck knife. Now I have on one of my machetes, I have the other Martini that I bought. It's called the Martini Big Hunter, and the handle's great for when it's wet, and this is stainless steel. So see, what I do is, this is the outfit here that I bring with me whenever I'm going to be near the river or the swamp, because I have a stainless steel machete, and then I have a stainless steel knife. And not only is this a stainless steel knife, but the handle, it's got a very, very grippy, textured rubber handle, which is great for if my hands are wet. But I keep it mounted here. But anyway, up until this point, those were the two Condors, the two Martinis that I owned. Well, everybody kept bragging about this. This is called the Carbanox Silver. I just bought it, and I'm going to be spending a bunch of time with this. This thing's been out about 12 years. I have not even used it. I paid 50 bucks for this thing. It's a Carbanox T508. Now, unlike these others, these are stainless steel. This is 5% carbon, maybe 6%, and around 8 or 9% chrome. And this thing, why don't you look at the finish on that knife? Look at that. There's a bunch of bushcrafters over in Scandinavian countries that love this knife, so I had to give it a try. It's brand new. It's got a leather sheath. It was around 50 bucks, silver, outdoor. And everywhere that I've ever looked, every single where that I have ever looked, this thing's been right at around 50 bucks. Now here's the thing, a lot of those Scandinavian bushcrafters, they have the real nice handmade knives and with the fancy handles and all that. But as far as user knives, from what I'm hearing and from what I read on the internet, they buy this, use it, wear it out, buy another, use it, wear it out, buy. This is their user knife. Because, you know, a handmade knife, you don't want to wear it out or break it or lose it. You want to hand it down to relatives. But this is what they use and they wear out. So there'll be more of this one in the future. I just want to show this one. Oh, it's so sharp. Hey, real quick before we set up our shelter frying, which is going to be the last part of this video, I'm going to run this out there and I'm going to try to carve something. Oh, real quick, I'll show you something else right here. I get a lot of boo-hooing and crying. People are like, when you wear a neck knife, they're like, you're going to choke yourself. Well, the thing is, if you put your neck knife on paracord with a knot, you might choke yourself. But the basic idea is to tuck it in your shirt or don't wear it when you're traveling, just whenever you're around camp. What I like is, you know, you can either have this bungee cord right here, all right, or you can make up a small webbing with a Fastex buckle, because that buckle is not going to hold your body weight. So what you can do with that is, if you want, instead of having this on your belt, of course half my knives I wind up with them mounted to my machete, but what I like to do is I like to wear them as a neck knife. So you can put that on there, and that's a Fastex buckle, and there you go. There's your neck knife right there. And when you're around camp, you know, it's right there handy where you can get at it. And then if you're traveling, slide it in your shirt, or maybe put it in your pocket like that. Let's go find something real quick to carve. Like I said, this is brand new. I've never used it. Never used it. Let's see how well it does straight out of the box. Look at that table over there. Isn't that hilarious? Now, who wouldn't just love a table like that at a campsite? Pick this stick up off the ground. Let's try the Martini Silver Carbonox. Oh yeah. Now this ain't doing too good because I'm not propping it up against something. Yeah, it carves no problem. That's cool. Now, ain't this fun spending time with Dave? We're just out here having a good old time. Alright, so what we're going to do, I have a floor and I have a tarp. Let's put all the rest of the stuff back in that backpack right there. Alright, so I got out of the pack, I got a Pencott Badlands heavy duty tarp. And then I've got a Plash Palatka for a floor. I got 3 of these, so this makes a good floor. And inside this bag, I have a pouch that I made out of triple wall Cordura. And it's got some big heavy duty tent pegs. I got a good handful of tent pegs. Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move this table out of the way and I'm going to take 2 of the legs off. That is so nice. Just set your water down on the table. I can't wait to cook and eat off this table. It's going to be great. Anyway, I need to rig up something like this for the bottom of my kayak so that when I kayak into an island, I can pull this out of the bottom of my kayak and I've got a table. But anyway, I'm going to pull 2 of the legs off of this and then I'm going to lay this floor down and then I'm going to set it over it and then I'm going to show you how the tarp goes over the top. And if I ever put the right fenders on here with these legs, I think I'll make a good hand cart for stuff. Isn't that cool? Alright. See if I got that in shot. You lay down your Palatka and then you take your car. And then you flip it over just like that. Just like that. It may need a bigger floor, I'm not sure yet. Take this, and you find, there it is, you find the center line, throw it over it. Now you got to take a bungee cord and let's see, run it through twice. Hook it on. And then once you got that bungee cord there on the front, you go to the back and pull it tight and put in the first tent peg. And then you pull all 4 sides tight. And then you go adjust the front. Thing is gigantic. Now you probably want to scoop the floor up under some more, and I think I really want to add a couple more loops. That one loop is holding it no problem, but it probably wouldn't hurt to have more here. I was going to add some more to this tarp anyway. This is a gigantic shelter. It's huge. The only thing is you're giving up the table space, but it makes for a good solid shelter. Now the floor could be twice as big. I need to bring 2 of those things. There's plenty of room in here for 2 people, and honestly, look, let me show you something. Okay, I'm looking right up at the wheels. Alright, there's my frame. Look at that. There's a gap between the tarp and here. You could set stuff up there. Look, this little frame, you can hang a light from it. The wheel, you can hang a light from it. Look, this bottom part, I need to make a little pouch for my cell phone and wallet. And then there's how the frame goes down. See, I took the bottom legs out. But really, for real, and the back side back there, there's enough room to lay the bicycle down back there. Like if you want to go camp somewhere for a week and you wasn't going to use the bicycle daily, you could cram it inside there. But this is just so cool. I absolutely love this. Now what I need to do next, let's see. Okay, where are we at on the other bicycle? The other bicycle, I need to work on the tire issue about not having flats, and then I need to work on the tire issue on this bike. The cart, I probably need to work on the wheels. But I really would like to incorporate, I'll never have a table as nice as this on that other bike, but the other bike is going to go places that this thing won't go. This will be probably more for trails, and then I'll eventually camo it real good. I ought to try to camo it like this pin cot, like a tan color with the little stipple squares and stuff. That would be so cool. But anyway, I absolutely love this shelter. This is a gigantic shelter. I guarantee you there's room in here for me and my brother and Nick. All 3 of us could fit in this thing. Now I don't know how heavy duty this is, but it could help. It could slow down a tree. Because this is not, the steel part, that's steel tubing. That's not lightweight aluminum. But this is aluminum up here, the tray. I couldn't make it that heavy. I need to do something with them wheels. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Maybe pretty long. I thought it was going to be short. That's why I added that other stuff. But see, some people on YouTube, they entertain. You know, they act like a TV show. I try to entertain, but I also like to try to pass along tips for things that I think will make your camping experience better, and it can save you money, can make the outdoors experience more fun. So anyway, I think I'm going to take a nap, and believe it or not, I have to pack all this stuff up and go home and then go to work. I just don't get time off like I used to. It's terrible. But first chance I get. Oh, and another thing, now that I've got both bicycles working and both trailers, me and Nick could take both bikes and both trailers out. And Nick will probably bring a cot. Well, anyway, I've been long-winded enough. I hope you've enjoyed it. I didn't want to keep you too long, but I only make 2 videos a month, so, you know, maybe you can make time to watch. But get out and enjoy life, and buy what you need to, but, you know, build what you need to. It's fun. Whatever you can build within reason, you build it. And like I said, any people out there that's got any ideas on puncture-proof tires, slime, foam, padding, silicone caulk, whatever you think will work, let me know. So take it easy, enjoy life, and we shall see you in the next one.